Alright, this is going to be my tutorial on the Ego Slide. This is a move that I found back in Gears 4.
Today I'll be teaching you a move that I have named the Ego Slide. This name comes from the player who taught me it, whose gamer tag is I'm Egotistical.
As far as I know, I don't think anybody else knew about it all the way back then, but it got pretty popular in this title. Definitely a lot more useful as well, just because you can do more stuff out of it. This move's gotten a lot of traction on Gears 5, but it's not new to Gears 5.
Literally every single pro player does it.
Icy's done a video on this, Domez has done a video on this. Avexys has talked about sliding backwards, more so doing this version of ego sliding where you turn your character backwards without cover. I'll cover the theory stuff later. So essentially you want to do this. You want to look like that. You want to slide backwards to cover while your character's facing the other way. So your character faces this way. Take your up A out of cover. You can do this regular roadie run too. A lot of people have you start at cover and have you slide in, back off, and slide back in after roadie running backwards. I initially found it roadie or up A-ing, found it up A-ing, but it's essentially the same thing, same concept. So start this. I use tournament alternate. I'll show me doing it with the other control schemes as well. But essentially, the easiest way I can do it, you up A, or in this case LB, you up A, LB, you turn your character around, because you hold backwards. You roadie run backwards, turn your character around. But before your camera turns around, you push forward on the stick, instead of holding back to roadie run. You press forward on the stick, and you slide it backwards. You don't exactly want your angle to be as straight as possible. If you're going to like over there, you're gonna have to widen out a little bit. It has to do with the camera. It's essentially the same. My preferred map is Foundation. I think that in mid it gives a pretty good distance. If you can do it in mid on Foundation, you can probably do it anywhere. Just because the distance is like max distance, kind of similar here. So like if I was right here, I can't hit that. Same with here, right here, I can't get there. It's too far. So I have to go about halfway out of the cover to slide there. And if I'm over here, I can't make it there. If I inch forward, I get there. So I have to get to about, looks like about there. But with where I go with the up A, can't do it. Foundation has the best examples of this, but like right here is a good example where that's a pretty good distance to cover. That I should be able to take cover right there, but I can't take cover facing backwards, so it's the fact that the camera is facing that direction. This side's a lot more useful and popularized in this title. You still can't shoot out of it. There's a delay on when you can shoot that has to do with when your camera turns around. So like even if I take cover, I can shoot right away. It looks pretty fast, but it's actually pretty slow. So you have to wait that whole quarter of a second for your character to turn around. So whereas I'm already facing forward, so if you wanted to shoot right away, it's a lot easier to just hop off the cover and slide. But if the goal was to make somebody freak out first, do it like that. You can up A out of it. Do it like that. Just looks a little weirder. And that's the whole point. Just make somebody confused at what you're doing. That wasn't a slide. There you go. Just like that. So your character will take cover in a lot of different ways. The distance that you can slide backwards is not very far compared to wherever your camera is facing. which is why even though, like, okay, I can slide to that cover from here, I have to go pretty close to the wall to slide backwards, whereas it's all the way back here. But if my camera's facing forward, it doesn't matter which direction my character's facing. This is a pretty easy cover to do it on. Decent distance as well. When you've done this a lot, you'll get an idea of where you can do it from, like how far the distance actually is. I always found that doing it from angles is different. You can do it that way, like that. You can do it that way. But you have to start running into the cover, which is odd. I don't find it that useful. The whole point is to look weird. At least what I think is to look weird. Make people shoot early. So you can do it on different control schemes. So for those that play regular alternate, I'm not used to playing regular alternate, but it is still doable on regular alternate. You can still do it. I'm not as fast because I'm not used to the control scheme this way. You can do it claw, which is how I was doing it right there. You can do it default, normal, like that. So it is possible to do it on. It's possible to do it on classic alt. Default's going to be a lot harder because of the rolling aspect tied to it. So, but you can still do it, just like that. I don't think I recommend doing this if you're a default player and play regular. Still do it on regular default. I haven't played default in years, but that's on default. Tournament's gonna have the same problem as default, but I should be able to still do it here. Oh god. Just like that. So it is possible to do it on the different control schemes in this game. I play tournament alternate and claw when I'm moving around, so I have a lot easier time keeping my camera straight with my thumb always on the right stick to move my camera around, just like that. Sliding without upping from cover is a little more trickier, requires some tighter timing. It's easiest to start looking at a wall first, slide into the wall normally however you do it. Again, default players might have some trouble doing this based on the tight timings of roadie run and rolling. But if you play alternate, you should be able to do this where you slide into cover, you hold roadie run backwards to turn your character around, and then as soon as your character turns around, you push the thumbstick forward and take cover again. But taking cover first gives you an idea of if you're close enough to the cover to even do it, and I'll show you what it looks like on Foundation as well. So here on mid is where I first discovered how to do this in Gears 4. Doing this on Foundation mid gives you a really good idea of what you can get away with and how far your character can actually move. This is going to be your max distance. You can ego slide from here to that pillar. Looks really far, but you can do it. As you see, with your character can normally slide into it just from the corner of this. So just like that. You can do it straight on. But you can't get this distance. This distance is too far. Same with over here. It's actually further to go from here to there than over here. This box is angled. But tripping people up on mid is pretty fun. You could look really weird bouncing around on here. Just like that. I would learn how to do this on mid. Like like I said, it just gives you an idea of what you can get away with as far as distances go. You'll do a lot of turning around and spinning around while you learn how to do this. But I had to get a tutorial out there because it's my move that people are calling something else, which is fine. Give it a founder's fee or something like that. It's essentially the same thing as sliding backwards. Doing the same thing, the same motion as ego sliding. So I'm going to call both of them ego sliding. So that's how to ego slide.